Alright everybody, welcome back. In this lesson we're going to talk about comparison operators a little bit more. We're just going to go over a few of the basic ones here, and at the end of the lecture I'll give you guys a reference. I'll link to a website or something like that, or maybe we'll go over some of the different comparison operators just really quickly. But I'm going to give you guys some examples and how they work. For the most part they're pretty self-explanatory, but let's kind of just give you guys an example of the one we've already covered, which is this equals one. Now, as you guys have already guessed and we've already learned, that this comparison operator is basically saying if user number is equal to 10, then run our condition, right? That's kind of basically what that's saying. But we can actually change this to different operators. So the first one we could do is not equal to. So this is the way that operator looks. It looks a little bit confusing, but basically this one says is if user number is not equal to 10, then the user may pass. So if you run our script, we type anything other than 10, 8 says we may pass, because remember it's not equal to 10 now. So that's how that one works. The next one we can use is the greater than symbol. So again, this is kind of self-explanatory. One thing I do want to say though is that when we're doing with numbers, we want to make sure that we're not using a string, right? Like because the user is typing in a string, we actually want to convert this to an integer, because if we're doing multiplication or addition with strings, you'll get some weird things will happen. So again, we'll make sure that we're putting this int here to change this input that they type in from a string to a number, and then we'll compare it to an actual number and not a string. So now it's actually going to compare the user's number they type in to an actual number and not to the string, because you might get some weird errors, especially with addition, if you don't do that step. So, you know, if the number is greater than 10, let's type in like 80. You can see that now they may pass because the condition is true. Conversely, you can also use the less than symbol. So if user number is less than 10, so run it again. And if we hit like 3, since 3 is less than 10, we may now pass. So that's how those two work. And the last one we're going to talk about is the greater than or equal to comparison operator. We can go like this, and then go equal, and this is, let's pick a number, let's pick 22. Now what this is saying is if user number is greater than or equal to 22, so it can either be 22 or greater than that, then run our condition. So let's test both out. So let's test 22. Actually, let's test 19 here. See 19, we may not pass. Run it again, we get 22. You may pass with 22. And if we type anything greater than 22, let's go 80. You can see that again, we may pass because it's greater than or equal to. So these are the basic ones we're going to cover here. Let's open up a website and let's check out some of the other ones that Python actually has to offer. Alright, so I found this basic website called Tutorials Point. I just typed in Python comparison operators into Google, and this is what I came up with. This is a great way to find information on Python, is to just go to Google and type things in. You can see there's actually a lot of stuff here on this website, so that's pretty cool. Here are the different operators. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication. We covered some of this stuff. And here at the bottom we have comparison operators. So these are the ones that we use with conditional statements to evaluate whether a conditional statement is true or false. So here we have the equals. So if the values of two operands are equal, then the condition becomes true. This is not equal to. I wish they actually said the names on them, but it does give in a description here. So if the values of two operands are not equal, and this one here, this one we didn't cover. If values of two operands are not equal, then the condition becomes true. So very similar to this one. And then greater than, less than, or greater than, and less than. Kind of examples there. And you can kind of see this is more in detail here. So there's a lot of stuff here. If you guys want to cover this, you can check it out. But it's not really important at the moment. We'll cover them later on as we work more advanced with Python and we progress through this course. But for now, that's all you guys really need to know. So that's the end of this lesson. Next up, we're going to be doing a short little project that'll take everything you've learned in this section and kind of put it to a test. So when you're ready to move on, I'll join you guys in the next lecture.